Hey mamas, this is Dr. Adu. I am a pediatrician turned homeschool mom, and I just love to share the things that have helped me thus far. We've been homeschooling now for a little over a year, and it's been definitely an amazing journey. We're having a wonderful time. There are challenges, there's ups and downs, but in the end, we know we're doing the right thing because we have the ability to tailor and to monitor the progress of our children and to really give them the tools that they need, not just in academics, but in life. So today I'm going to be showing you a little tutorial on how to actually bookbind so that you can preserve the books that you have for your students. That way you don't have to worry about pages ripping out or the binding coming apart or the front and back covers getting all gnarled over the progress of time. Two tools that I have found to be so useful are my laminating machine, and this one is from HP. I'm going to go ahead and put the specifics about it down below. I also can't do without my Fellows binding machine and then the combs that I purchased to go along with it. I have laminated so much and really took advantage of binding many of my students' books as well as my teacher manuals and so forth to really give it longevity. I've also took the opportunity to laminate a few things for my littlest ones, such as flashcards, like what I've done here. So that's been a big help because otherwise, even though it's cardstock, it still gets torn, especially from little busy hands. So this has been a great help. And then in the tutorial, I'll be showing you how I bound my Saxon math book for one of my older ones. So that way it has a good sturdy cover. It's bound so that you can actually open it up and you can lay it flat if you like. It really stays pretty well bound together. We haven't really had any issues. So I want to go ahead and share this with you, and I hope it's going to be of benefit. I will see you soon with other little helpful tips and tutorials. Okay, so the tools that you're going to need, of course, is the book that you want to use, that you would like to bind. And preferably, it would be great if they had some perforation to it, because that just makes it easier, because you're going to remove all the pages from the book so that you're left with just pretty much two pieces. That would be the bare spine of the book and then those single pages that you have taken apart. And then you're going to just set those to the side. Of course, the other materials that you need is your Fellows binding machine. I have the Star Plus 150, which has been a very great help. I've had it for several years now through homeschooling. Of course, you want to use a good sturdy scissor. You want to have thermal laminating pouches that you're going to use for your laminating machine. You want your binding coil, and of course you want to tailor it to the size of the book that you're making. So the binding coils come in different sizes, so depending upon what your needs are, you may want to get an assortment of sizes so that depending upon your book, you'll have it ready for when you need it. And of course, you want to have your laminating machine. I use an HP. And that specific model of the HP Laminator is the 940. And those thermal laminating pouches, I go ahead and use the 3mm. And that has served me well thus far. Okay, so now you have removed all the pages and now you're just left with the spine and the front and back cover. So for this part, you want to go ahead and straighten out the cover as much as you can, because you want to make sure that when you cut it, it's an even cut. So basically what I'm doing is pushing down on the spine so that it becomes a little bit separated from the two flaps, the front and back flap. So once you have gotten it to your preference level where you feel comfortable to go ahead and cut it, then you just go ahead and carefully cut along the edging of the spine. And you're gonna cut off the front cover. And then you're gonna go ahead and do the same for the back cover. Cut carefully because of course you want your end product to be nice and neat. So now you have separated the front and back cover. Of course, go ahead and clean up your work surface. That always makes things easier for you and nice and orderly. So once you've separated the covers, you can go ahead and put them in the thermal pouches. And these are the ones that you're gonna go ahead and slide through the laminating machine. So we got the front cover done in the pouch, and we're gonna go ahead and do the back cover. Try, if you can, to make each part of the cover nice and evenly distributed. So try to center it, because depending on how you want to do it, if you don't want to cut off the edging, you want the product to look neat. So here we are using the laminating machine. I've turned it on, and with this specific model, I wait a few minutes or so for it to warm up, and then I hear a beep. Once I hear the beep, then I know that it's heated up and it's ready to go. In this model, you can also do cold lamination as well, and it has a setting for 3mm and 5mm also. It also has a helpful setting to reverse the document that you're using, and then of course to go forward. And now we're going to do the same thing for the back page. And it's a pretty quick process. It doesn't take very long, and once you've done that, then you're good to go. Now if you would really like to have a very sturdy cover, you can repeat this process, put another pouch over the front and back cover, and then laminate again. I've done that before just to make my own teacher's manual even more sturdy, since I've used it so often throughout the day. Now we're going to go ahead and get ready the single pages that we want to bind, and we're also going to be putting together the front and back cover. So the first one that I do is the front cover. So we get our surface nice and ready, cleaned up again. Then we are going to go ahead and put the binding comb onto the machine. But before we do that, we want to make sure that we're using the right size. So based on the thickness of the book that I have here and the coil that I have there, it's not going to be such a good fit. So I needed to go up a little bit. So I went ahead and exchanged that size for the larger one, and that was good. This one is a little bit more sturdy too. So this step is important because you need to make sure that the binding comb is in the right orientation. So the teeth that you see there, it should be pointing away from you, and then the edging, kind of siding of it, should be up, so that when you press the machine lever down, it opens up well like alligator teeth to accept the documents that you're going to place in them. So because the length of the laminating pouch is longer than the length of the machine, I needed to go ahead and tailor the book a little bit, and I also round the edge off so that it doesn't have any sharpness when I'm done. So now we are working on the front cover, and I press the machine down several times since it's plastic so that it cuts through nice and evenly. If you don't, sometimes it may get a little bit stuck into the machine. And then I just snip off the excess pieces of plastic that might still be hanging on, that didn't get cut in the machine. So now we're ready to go ahead and put on our very first piece, which is the front cover. Now we're going to work on the individual sheets, so it's the same process. You put it through on the back and then press that lever down, and it's going to cut these little rectangular holes that will then feed into the teeth of your comb. And then you just make sure that you've lined it up so that all the holes have teeth going through. And you just repeat until you're done with the single pages. When you put these pages in the machine or any part of your product, make sure that you go ahead and slide it down as far down as you can, otherwise it's gonna cut uneven. So you'll have one piece that was cut and then another piece that may not be cut evenly. That has happened to me many times. So you want to go ahead and slide your pages down as far as you can into the machine before you do the cut. So we get through the pages of our book. We are almost done. We're rounding out to the last few. You just continue the process until you get to the last pages. And then you're to the back cover. So same thing with the back cover. You have to do a little tailoring so that it will fit in your machine, because the laminating pouch comes out being a little bit longer. So you just cut off one edge depending on which one was longer. Then you go ahead and snip off the end so that you have a rounded edge so that it's not sharp. And then make sure you slide the cover down all the way that's laminated so that it'll cut evenly. Then you just snip off the excess pieces of plastic that you have there. So you're almost done with making sure that your book is now strengthened and reinforced to last you throughout the whole year and then even beyond, if you're using books for multiple children. This can be done with any book. You can take the book apart, take the spine off, and then select your comb. And there you have it. You have a reinforced book that will last you for a long time. It can also be open flat, which is of a great help if you're on the go or you just want to open it to a more easily reachable place. You can do that too. There you have it. If you enjoyed this video and you'd love to see more where we talk about homeschool, DIY, and ways to just save your time and to run a more effective and smooth running homeschool, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. You can also find me at drmonicadu.com. Thanks, and see you soon.